Welcome back, everybody, to the Words from the Nerds podcast, presented by Aiden, Ben, Charlie, your three wonderful co-hosts. If you are returning from an old episode, if this is your first episode, or if you're coming here from any of the short form content that we have posted, go ahead and show some love. Leave a comment. We read every single comment that we get every week that is on the YouTube. So go ahead and if you feel like
we got a comment about Ben and his clone troopers in the background, and I don't think Ben responded to that ever.
What?
Did we actually?
Yeah, not on
what?
YouTube. It was on. I think it was either Instagram or TikTok on one of the shorts.
Oh, on one of the shorts, dude.
Dude, that's
you
sick.
can see I'm reordering some of them right now, so they're actually down on the floor. But I got them up there.
I was surprised they were able to see them, and notice that they were because it's not
quality gets
so zoomed in.
So
yeah,
bad. Yeah,
the quality is not great.
Some people just know ball. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Right, anyways, show some love, likes, comments, subs. We will read any comment that we get from the YouTube.
Speaking of which,
we got one. If you're listening on audio, though, you can also click the link and send us a direct text message, which we will also read out here. Lots of ways you can reach out to the boys here. But we do got a comment coming from longtime supporter of the pod, the greatest brother-in-law anybody could ever ask for. B Woody 94
couldn't agree
says,
more.
I do agree there are better Superman cartoon shows, but I won't have any My Adventures with Superman slander.
Listen, man.
Charlie, you can attest to this. I'll leave this one to you.
Listen, man. I wasn't gonna slander it, but honestly, Brandon, that kind of makes me want to. I won't lie to you. It kind of makes me want to. But I love my man Jack Quaid and his voicing of Superman. So I can't talk too much smack on it. But if you agree, Brandon, that there are better options out there, why would you steer Aiden towards the middle of the road one? Which, again, I know you said you don't want any slander, but let's be honest here. Middle of the road compared to the other ones.
I feel like he told me why, but I have the worst memory ever. I can't remember. But
like I said last week, maybe that it's easily digested. I'll shut up.
Yeah, man.
I'll shut up.
Brandon, I hope you're listening. Brandon, I hope you're listening in your car, just laughing right now, just smiling because you just got a dub and you didn't have to do anything. Like, God, that must feel so good.
I'll shut up. Man.
Anyways, before we get into these two, I'll go ahead and start off since I always seem to be the one that's always long-winded talking about like what I've watched this week, what I've been up to. Lots of studying, two great Superman watches that we had last week that we talked about. But I say that because still haven't been able to stop thinking about the movie. It's so great. All the edits, all the things I've seen talked about. So fun. So that's, kept my hope up through the week as I've gone on. I watched a movie today that was released this year, K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. Actually, very, very fun watch. Such a good movie.
Heard about it.
It is like one of the coolest plots that I've ever seen. It is very kiddie, it's a kids movie, but the animation is gorgeous, dude. Like, man, the animation is gorgeous. It's like a mix of the animation from the Predator movie, Killer of Killers, and like a Ninja 2 type of animation, which is just like that, Pixar type of animation. It's just like very 3D animated. Anyway,
everything's like Ninja 2.
It's actually insane that we come here to talk about good movies and good projects, and every single time a good project comes out of my mouth, it's eye rolls. Like, are we here to talk about good projects, or are we here to roll our eyes at them? Oh my God, like, holy!
I'm not gonna watch your little kitty animated movie.
Yeah, just stop watching stuff for little kids, bro.
Hey, y'all too. I can't wait for if we upload something in the future and y'all are just blabbing off about I hate anime, I hate the medium, I'm brain dead to the medium, that y'all get slandered because the 2-on-1, quite frankly, makes me want to kill myself. All right, I don't care. Makes me want to kill myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, the animation is really cool. It was a very fun time. I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, it's a very fun movie. It's like an hour and a half. So if y'all ever have time to check it out, I don't think y'all would regret it at all. Last night, while I was studying, I watched Burn After Reading by the Coen brothers. Have any of y'all seen it? It's the clip of Brad Pitt where he's dancing like that with the earbuds. I'm sure y'all seen that clip go around. Anyways, solid movie, 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. It's fun, you know, it's very intricate. I love like the movies, the trope of having like 7 random people and just going about their day, and then somehow it just all gets intertwined. It's like that times 100, and so that's pretty cool. A lot of people love it. I saw a lot of 5-star reviews. I thought it was just fine. And so yeah, I watched those 2 things. I'm sure there's something else I watched. I rewatched Bullet Train. I don't know if I told y'all that.
No,
Such a
you
good
did not.
movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Finally
It's
watched
so
something
good. It is just so good. I mean, it's hilarious.
Was that
I'm just
sarcastic,
gonna,
Charlie, or was that real?
No, it's real.
No, he's
I
just
love
taking it. He's just taking another jab. I mean, it's, you know, just he's testing the remove from stage button for.
Oh man.
No, I feel like there's a big group of people who's just like, yeah, that's a fun, like, pretty good movie, and then
No,
there's
I
a
like
group
bullshit.
of people
I know,
who are
yeah,
just like,
there's a lot of
you
people who
liked it,
don't.
right?
stupid, dumb movie. I like it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I
liked it
figured
a
it's
lot.
right down your alley. I mean, just like really action heavy.
I thought you
I
were gonna
don't
throw
lo-
a
I
jab.
don't
at
Easily
me. I thought he was
digestible.
gonna throw a jab.
Easily digestible, as Charlie likes to say.
Listen, bro, it wasn't even like that, man. It wasn't even like that.
I mean, I think it's like a 7. I think, you know,
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's
it's
more
a fun
so an
movie.
8. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
I'm not mad about that. It's really funny.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
it's a gorgeous looking movie. It really just makes me so upset. Lemon and Tangerine, like that little backstory that they give them just to kill them both off. I'm like, dude, man, you could have had like insane spin-off potential with these 2. Regardless, just reminded me just how good the movie is. And Ben, that was like one of the first times that we like started talking. I remember you were like, "Are you gonna check out Bullet Train?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see it." You were like, "Bro, look at this YouTube trailer thumbnail. They literally just spoiled the entire ending of the movie." And it's him and Sandra Bullock, right? Sandra Bullock talking to each other after the
Ben,
aftermath
why would
of
you have
everything.
sent that to him?
Dude,
if it
I
spoiled
don't
the
remember
movie?
this
Why
at
would you
all.
do that?
Yeah, I always remember that whenever I see that portion of the movie because it's just it's like one of the more goofy parts of the movie.
You're still holding the
But
grudge.
anyways, no, I wasn't upset about it. I just think it's funny. Like that was one of the first movies we talked about. Anyways, so yeah, I had a pretty fun week of just getting to watch a lot of cool random things. Yeah, I don't know why I picked Burn After Reading last night. I was scrolling through Netflix and I was like, I just want to watch the most random movie that I can find on here. So like I clicked on that, didn't know that the Coen brothers directed it. I only knew Brad Pitt was in the movie, and it was an all right movie. But yeah, that was my week. Mr. Charlie, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm always.
Yeah. Anyways, Ben. Yeah, that boy. That's what he gets talking all that
thank
smack.
goodness,
Charlie's
dude.
removed from the
Thank goodness.
stage. Ben,
That
go ahead and
that
tell
was
us how
good.
your day
That was really good. That was
was.
really good, actually.
We're pushing Charlie to last.
You got me
man.
good right there.
You know, I'm not gonna double dog on you. Go ahead, Charlie. I won't
ahead,
take your
Charlie.
thunder.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, man. You know, I've been good, man. I've been real good as usual. Nothing really crazy to report that I've watched. Obviously, we talked about Superman last week. I saw that again after we were done recording. I was telling Ben you a little bit, like maybe liked it a little bit less for like CinemaSins reasons. But you know, the moments that needed to hit still hit, and it was still a really fun time. But and actually, maybe I'll make a clip potential. How does Lois know where to go in the movie? After Superman's like down for the count, he can barely talk. And Lois has never met Martha and Jonathan Kent. They introduce themselves when she shows up. How does she know where to go? How does she know where the farm is? How does she know how to fly the T-sphere ship thingy there?
It's intuitive.
I guess, yeah, you just put
That's
in...
what Mr. Terrific says. He says it's intuitive
I guess
controls.
maybe that might be a good actual critique. That might be a good comeback for it. Maybe you just type in Kent Farm and then it brings you there. Maybe it has like a Google Maps spot for it.
CinemaSins to me, but whatever.
Like I said, it's a CinemaSins thing. What is happening right now? What is happening right now?
You're basically admitting that it's just some BS you're bringing up for no reason.
100%, man.
Okay, I guess you own it.
That's his strong suit. Anyways, continue, Charlie.
Oh my god! All right, Mister Movie changed my life over here. This guy, I know
It
this
did,
guy's not
man.
talking. All right, pal,
I
calm
held the
down.
door open for
I'm
an old
glad you
lady
finally
today.
opened your eyes to Superman, man. I'm glad you finally understand how great he
Hey,
can be.
don't get
All
mad at
right,
me. Get mad
you're
at Zack
about
Snyder and Henry
15
Cavill.
years too late, man. You should have realized
Get
that when
mad
you
at
were like
them.
5.
Get mad at them. Spider-Man filled that gap for me, which I'm completely
Well,
fine
you
with.
should have watched all the DC stuff, man, not just the movies, not just live action movies, man. You
Our
and your little
first
kid
conversation ever,
stuff.
I said, "Yo, this is Ben," and you said, "Yes, sir, this is Aiden," and then you sent me a picture of the deluxe version of Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, and we started talking about Legos. That's a peak right there.
That's peak, bro. Peak
I bet Aiden
cinema.
never even played that game. But
Yeah,
anything else that I have done this week? Just like I said, actually no, I didn't say this while we were recording, but I'll say it now. Not finally, but I started the Summer I Turned Pretty season 3. Just came out today, so that's pretty cool.
See, man, yeah,
All
we're
right,
happy
cool.
for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I'm totally happy that you're choosing to watch that over Attack on Titan, But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
man, get that
enjoy,
Attack
man, I
on Mid out
guess.
of my face, bro.
Enjoy, I guess.
And then also I've been watching a lot of Prison Break still. So, and honestly, I'm into season 2. If you're like really ride or die for that show, I'm sorry, but like it is so average. Like it's good, but it's not like life-shatteringly good. Like there's so many like logical inconsistencies as well as just like conveniences for like how they break out of the prison and everything like that, and so many stupid things like somebody comes up behind somebody with like a baseball bat, they hit him in the shoulder, and like this is like life or death situation. Hit him in the shoulder, they fall down, and then they look and tell somebody run instead of just continuing to beat the person down that you're fighting in a fight for the death. But whatever, that's always movie stuff. That's
I mean, look, buddy, you're the one
cinema
that
sins.
chose to watch it, so I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
smile and
I'm
nod and
having
just
I'm
like,
having
yeah,
an
man,
enjoyable time. I'm having an
all right,
enjoyable time.
all that
That's all I
matters.
can. That's all I can ask for.
I respect it, I guess.
You got to have the McDonald's in between the 5-star Michelin restaurants like the Bear. Okay, but
Oh, yes, sir.
speaking of which, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Mr. Ben, to cap us off, let us know how you been. Ooh, Ben, tell us how you been.
Yeah. Okay. Can we just?
No, Charlie,
Yeah. Okay. That's better.
Wait,
I will not be silenced.
I don't think I even caught the drift of what was happening there. What the fuck?
I said, well, now you have to be on my side after I re-explain it to you because it's gonna be
Okay.
embarrassing if you know. I said, Ben, tell us how you've been. All right.
And they started slapping his own knee. Yeah.
That was stupid. That was dumb.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
so
you.
dumb. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I've been doing
Oh man.
I've been doing well. After we recorded last week, I was gone over the weekend for a friend's wedding, so not as much time as usual to watch stuff. So I haven't seen a single movie since then, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to watch Superman. I'm hoping to go tomorrow, but if not, then I'm also gone this next weekend, like Friday through Sunday. So it's a little bit tough not finding the time. So I haven't seen a movie, but I have been watching Lost still with my wife. So we are close to finishing season 1. So I know about I just recently learned about the number sequence, which I knew that there was a number sequence, but I know the numbers now. Still don't know really anything about it, but I know the numbers. So that's, something to look forward to. Honestly brings up more questions, but I feel like that's just the kind of show that this is, especially in the first season. And then the other thing is really The Bear, which I made it through 6 episodes of season 2. And I was trying to hit that pretty hard throughout this week, but then once episode 6 popped up and I saw that it was an hour long, that took up a little bit more time than I was hoping for, but that's okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about The Bear. Gonna keep pushing to make progress on that, though, the next couple of weeks. Especially now that the other thing was just I finished Ironheart. So now that that's done, there's no shows that I'm watching on my own at this point. Just watching Lost and then gonna get caught up on some of these other shows.
I almost just
And
spoiled last one. I looked something up though, so we're good. We're good.
you better watch it. I'm just you dude, I'm just saying, like,
Oh, buddy.
this
buddy.
is I think I said this, but this is a slow burn for me. Like I'm really liking it. But dude, the first three seasons are all like 25 episodes long. Okay, like
Jeez,
it is
classic
taking
TV, man.
its time to
Classic TV.
like I'm used to 13 episodes max for a season.
You grew up with that TikTok brain, man.
Yeah, okay.
Crazy.
Okay, man. Whatever.
You
All
grew
right,
up with that TikTok
All right,
brain.
Yeah, it's just a little different for me. So, but I'm really liking it and I'm looking forward to it. So no movies for me. I'll probably download a couple movies for the drive on Friday because I'm riding with my parents for our little weekend thing that we have. So I'll probably watch a couple of things during travel and whatnot, which will be nice.
At least finish season 2 of The Bear.
That would be good. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, you can knock that out pretty quick. Like I said, they're quick episodes. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Or no.
There's 10.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, but you just watched 7, right? Yeah.
I just watched 6, I think.
Oh, Forks is 7. Yeah.
Forks is 7.
Yeah.
You have 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. And the only other thing I'll mention,
how he answered that, he's not doing that. I can tell you by how he answered that. That is not what he's doing.
What if I watch those before then?
We'll see his thoughts whenever we get there to see if we can really determine if he's motivated to finish.
Yeah,
that about it, Ben?
The only other thing I was going to mention, which we're a bit far into the recording, and Aiden, I know you and I haven't talked about it as much, but there's a rumor going around that we're maybe gonna start up a Discord server in the near future. So
who said that rumor?
I think I just did.
Oh,
I think I literally just put
you heard it here first.
But
our official rumor.
Yeah, so maybe something more official on that, even on like next week's episode. We'll see.
Real quick before we get out of this section, I have a little bit of an icebreaker question I've been sitting on for like 2 weeks, truthfully. Probably would have been good to bring it up last week, but we had like big discussions on big projects. So this week I wanted to bring it up, and it was about 2 weeks ago. James Gunn was talking about origin stories in superhero movies and how they are played out. Specific ones being the Batman watching his parents die in the alleyway and the pearls and everything, Spider-Man getting bitten by the spider, and Superman getting sent off as Krypton is exploding. Specifically, he said that there are 3 things in superhero projects that the audience does not need to see anymore, in his opinion. And I'm going to push back on it, and I wanted your guys to take on it as well, because I'll agree with the Batman one. Absolutely. Batman stuff, we have seen that way too many times in so many different iterations, right? Spider-Man, we've seen it like twice, 3 times in major projects, other than like if you want to consider like Miles's stuff, the same part of that project, that same thought process, but like it's different. The way it happens is different, and like the circumstances around it is different. So I wouldn't count Miles. But even like Superman that happened in the 78 version and Man of Steel, and we skipped it in 2025. Like, I just don't know that like I agree with that myself, because and I do like just jumping right in. Superman, this last movie was great, and how it didn't do that, that's fine with me. But I also don't mind seeing that stuff. Like, it's not like, with the exception of Batman, because that I do think is overdone. But I just feel, what's wrong with seeing Peter getting bit by the spider while he's on a school field trip for the 3rd time in the span of, mind you, almost 20 years? Toby got bit in 2002, right? And then Andrew got bit 10 years later. That's the next time we see it, 10 years later in 2012. And then Tom never gets bit. So it's like, what are we talking about? I just don't understand. Like, I just feel like we're reaching. So many people say this, and I just wanted to bring it up because now a big prevalent person in the comic book space is also saying the same thing. So, what do you guys think?
Okay, I think there's a difference between like, do I mind it versus like, would it benefit it? Like, I think those can be different conversations because I think
Sure.
about Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like them bringing him into Civil War and just establishing him as a character. Like, they could have used his origin story as flashback material or building more of a groundwork for who he is as a character. But I think once you just like bring them into a concurrent story like Civil War, at that point you're kind of just going with it and you're rolling with it at that point. So I think for something like that, it makes less sense. For Superman, it's like, yeah, I'd be fine if the runtime was 20 minutes longer and we started the movie with a little bit of an origin and then we just cut to where the movie actually starts with the whole whatever it was 3 centuries ago or
3
whatever.
centuries, yeah. 3
Yeah.
decades.
So
I don't
I'd be
know.
fine with it. And like, I'm a big proponent for like, if I like a movie like John Wick, this is a good example. When John Wick Chapter 4 was rumored to be 3 hours long and people were like, dude, this is way too long. I literally had to tell people like, dude, this is rumored to be the last like main John Wick film that we are getting. Why would you not want as much John Wick as possible if this is what you're going to be left with? And I understand, the flow of a movie, it can feel overbearing. I get those points, but at the end of the day, like giving me more of a Superman movie that I loved, like it would be hard for a movie like that to feel too long for me. So bumping it from 2 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes, like I'm all there for it just to give me more
Sure.
of what I'm enjoying. But it's not,
Well, see,
that's not specific to the origin story. That's just more of a general
okay,
thing
that's
for me.
because that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'd appreciate an extra 20 minutes of Homecoming or an extra 20 minutes of Superman 2025, but I just wouldn't. I mean, not to see their origin story. I wouldn't care too much for that. I don't. If you're dropping me in the story, if you're dropping me in the middle of the story, then I want as much of this story as possible. I don't really care for
Would it
an
annoy you though?
origin story. I mean,
Would it
it
annoy
wouldn't.
you if it was there?
Would it annoy me? I don't think it would.
Like, I know this. I don't like.
Me.
Would you kind of like tune out?
I don't think I'd tune out. I don't think I'd even hate it. I don't know. But I also feel like maybe it would annoy me. I mean, if Superman had a 20-minute, a bit of his origin story, and then started with the 3 centuries ago, I don't think I would have really cared too much for it at all.
No,
I don't even think I cared about seeing which I'm glad that they didn't do too much of in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Cool. I don't care. I don't need it. I don't need to see him get bit by the spider. Like, just drop me in the story with all these established heroes. I don't need to see the same thing that I've seen a while, like, multiple times. And yes, in live action, cool. They've done it twice in the past 20 years. But there's also been so many different comics. There's also been so many different TV shows. Like, it's all been, yes, we know how this happens. Unless you're telling a new take on it, like Miles, or if you're giving a new interesting take and a new spin on the character, cool, show me that origin story. If you're just gonna do he got bit, if you're just gonna do that Krypton got demolished and Kal-El was sent to Earth, I don't need to see it.
No. Let me cook. I'm actually like, I might be fully on board with. I think what Charlie's take is that they should have had it for this new Superman movie.
Whoa.
And here's why.
That's not my take. Let's get that on the air right now. That is not my take.
Okay.
But continue.
You might have this take after what I'm about to say. This Superman movie is what Aiden just talked about, where it's a departure from what we're used to with an origin story, in the fact that the message from his parents was different than we're used to. And it actually had a negative connotation for him being on Earth. If we had an origin story, more of a connection with his parents, and he thinks, everything is happy, everything is great, and then we learn that actually they had ill intent with sending him to Earth, it would have hit harder. Like, to me, that actually says like origin story here would have mattered more because the message from his parents is like that's the conflict of the movie.
I
That's such a
disagree.
huge part of the movie.
I disagree with that only because if we're going back to like the 20 more minutes, if you add the 20 more minutes on with Jor-El and with his parents and you know the backstory of them sending them to Earth, see, I would have rather had the exact same movie, but 20 more minutes of Superman being more conflicted with that. That would have made it better. I don't need to see. I don't think that connection, especially with the theme of the movie of you know the sins of your father and you are not the sins of your father. Why do we need that connection with them? If you're not the sins of your father, the further you get away from them, and the further Superman like grieves and establishes that in himself, I don't need the origin story for that. I need to see how Clark and how Superman is dealing with that conflict. And if you're gonna give me 20 more minutes, I'd rather it be that than the origin story. And that goes for and that even goes for Homecoming, and that goes for like the and that's why it's like we know who these characters are. We know how Bruce Wayne's parents died. And even the Batman does it. You know, the Batman isn't an origin story; it's a year one Batman, and they do it perfectly because then he sees the corruption that his dad was supposedly a part of, and then he's conflicted with that. He takes that to Alfred. Alfred gives him the truth, and then he still grapples with that. We didn't have to spend time with Bruce to know that Bruce was a decent person, and all of this was just you know a game of telephone between news reports and dead reporters and Carmine Falcone. He grieved with it. He was conflicted. He confronted Alfred with it, and then he tried to handle things the way he thought that he saw fit. The Riddler took advantage of that, and then by the end of the movie, he recaps all of that stuff and is like, "I know what I have to be. Like, I'm not the sins of my father. I know who I have to be." And we didn't have to have that origin story. So then, why would any other project need it if it's Spider-Man or Superman?
I really don't see that as a reason at all. Like I brought up Tom Holland and his implementation in Civil War. That's a good example of I have no care or desire and don't think it would really add anything to see his origin. And you can say that, you know, if you have that opinion about Batman, that's great. If you have that opinion about Superman, that's also fine. But for me, I look at the Superman movie and I say, yeah, I think a bit of an origin or a backstory would have actually built on what the film did and enhanced it even more. I agree, 20 more minutes of him dealing with it in the film would have been great. The compromise we can have is they could have had the backstory, cut out some of the other fluff that we don't care about, the Justice Gang, the whatever, in the actual movie, still have more time with him dealing with it, more interactions with Ma and Pa Kent, build up all of that. But I don't see how you can argue with like, if they gave us a backstory, then all those things that he does deal with, if you get more of that, it matters more. Like
because the Batman does it perfectly. The Batman did it perfectly. The Batman handled that same conflict, and
it doesn't mean that it translates. I don't know.
I don't know. See, to me, I see the way that Batman handled it. I see the way that Superman handled it, and the takeaway I had coming out from it was the movie needed 20 more minutes. Now, if the Batman didn't need 20 more minutes of backstory and they handled it the way that the Batman actually handled it, see, that's a perfect movie right there. Like that is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Superman, I don't think would benefit a whole lot from an origin story. And I see what you're talking about. Like I see the point that you're saying, but again, it's the conversation of okay, this has been rehashed before. How about we just drop them in and you know just do what we did with the Batman? I think if it works for the Batman, I don't see why it wouldn't work for me for Superman.
Charlie, take a turn here.
Well, and
take a turn, but
yeah, we're gonna wrap it up quick. My only thing, like, I sort of agree with what James Gunn says in the sense of like, we don't need to see those scenes ever again. Sure, the people that know these characters and know how they became them, you don't need to. But I also feel like that's such a generalization of a statement that you cannot just assume that everybody knows what this character has been through and how they ended up where they are. Now, sure, again, you don't need those scenes. You can very much just have like a "when the spider bit me" way back when, which I think in Homecoming, I think there's a line of like, "Ever since that spider bit me, I've had," or no, that was Far From Home. "Ever since the spider bit me, I've had like 1 week things have been normal." So you can have like lines like that, but also like I think about like, for example, bro, this is a very specific example that probably is a very small percentage of the population. Man of Steel came out in 2013. That's the last time we have seen Superman's origin on film in in a live action film ever since then. But it wasn't even in James Gunn's, obviously. So think about someone who was born in 2013. Now they are 10 years old. Now they're 12 years old. They can fully understand and enjoy a Superman movie, but they don't know the character of Superman. Let's say they haven't read the comics. They haven't done anything like that. I don't think they're at a disadvantage with watching Superman as for not understanding. Like, you get everything you need from that, sure, but just they don't know that part of the character. Now, obviously, they can go out and get different. They can read comics. They can watch cartoons. Like Aiden's maybe gonna watch My Adventures with Superman. I don't think it's gonna happen, folks. But they can do all these other things. Sure,
It's easily digestible. Of course I will, right? Because I'm simple-minded. No, I'm kidding.
It's crazy. But yeah, I just think like for especially when we're talking like years and years and years between all of these different things happening, 10 plus years of these origin stories happening, I don't think it's like it's a crazy idea to want to include it again for people to watch. Like, people do not, they don't have to watch Toby get bit every year rewatching Spider-Man 1 leading up to Andrew Garfield in 2012 and then be mad, dude, I've seen this 1,000 times. Yeah, because you watched Tobey Maguire do it 1,000 times. Like, I don't know, man. That's my only point to bring it. That's all I really wanted to say, because I don't fully agree with it, but I understand the discussion.
I can understand it from a point of, if you're gonna tack it on like Ben's argument is, I can be fine with that. If you're every time we get a new iteration of this character gonna do a full origin story, like here is Superman from the moment that his origin begins to the end of the movie, whenever he faces his first villain or whatever. Same thing with Spider-Man, same thing with Batman. That is where I think I could maybe agree that doesn't always have to be the case, which is why the Batman and Superman exist, because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do a full, like, here's Batman from whenever his parents die, he goes through the training. Like, they didn't have to do the whole, like, Batman Begins for this character. They just did a year one Batman. They didn't have to do the whole Christopher Reeves or Henry Cavill for this year's Superman. They just let him be established as, hey, 3 years ago he came out to be Superman. So I don't know.
Real
I think
quick,
I'd
bro, I
maybe
just had this thought in my head. Aiden's looking at like that The Rock meme picture, bro, right now.
I know.
He's not wearing the turtleneck, but it just looked like it when when I can't see his neck.
This logo is like, normally it'd be up here. This looks like a regular shirt. Dude, it's all the way down here. So I just look like I'm wearing a black long sleeve like turtleneck. Anyways, maybe I do agree with if 20 years down the line we bring in another Superman or another Batman, maybe we don't have to always do the origin story as the first movie.
Sure.
I think I could.
I don't think we're going to see a Batman origin story for a long, long time at this point.
Yeah, no, no, at least not in a live action movie.
Yeah, not in a live action film. But yeah, we can cut it there, because
I can agree to disagree on certain points, but yes, overall. All right. Great discussion. Thank you, Charlie, for bringing in that topic.
Of course, man.
I was even thinking earlier today, which this could be an off recording conversation, but I'll bring it in for a little bit. Like kind of a like big question segment, like, all right, like, here's like, or like, maybe after we watch Superman, we can bring up a question of like something that regards the building of the DC universe, or for here, like Charlie, you just did something like that. I think that'd be cool. Like, question for the episode of the pod.
Question
Or,
of the question of the episode, question of the week, something like that.
we could even, if this thing grows like we want it to, I think a cool like comment, like a topic you'd like to see us discuss for like 15 minutes or something. I think that'd be cool. Anyways,
Call it discussion of the week.
Yeah, that's
little
that'd be a
topic
good thing
segment
for
of the
the
week.
Discord.
Yeah, a little shameless plug. Getting into our next topic here, it'll be the boys, Ben and Charlie. Not to be confused with Ben and Jerry's.
I thought we were
will
going
be
to talk about the boys for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, he did say
No.
the boys. Yeah.
Hey, here soon. Maybe sometime early.
Yeah, you got to get on Gen V, buddy.
Yeah, watch Gen V. Watch Gen V.
Yeah, I will.
That's a grown man show, not a little kiddie show.
Oh my god!
Oh,
dude,
did you watch the Diabolical, the animated show?
Oh, the boys,
dude. You guys should watch that if you haven't seen that. Actually, like it is good.
We talked about it a little bit because I only watched was it Black Noir or Homelander clone episode? I think it was.
Yeah, that's the finale. That's the only one that's canon. I think I've said that
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. We've talked about it whenever we were discussing like season 2 or 3. Anyways, our next piece of conversation will be Ben and Charlie talking about their thoughts on Squid Game season 3. I'm gonna dip out for a little bit. I'm gonna keep my headphones on, so once they give me the okay to come back in.
Wait, what? You're actually gonna watch Squid Game eventually? You haven't seen even season 1?
No, I mean,
you're just gonna go do something.
Eventually. No. Like I was just gonna leave so that the clips, like it's just y'all two. Like I'm not just sitting here like this in every clip. Like, no, hey, I'm here.
You know. Well, actually, I know you haven't edited it before, and this again should probably be an off thing discussion. But I think Ben knows. You don't have to if you don't want to. Like, if you want to be here and like chime in and ask questions, which I like, you don't have to be. But like, there's an option on the editing thing where you can just have it split, where it's just 2 faces that show, and then you can choose the 2 that show, and then it'll cut it. Like,
and you can dip out for like. We'll text you.
All right. Enjoy the conversation of these 2, and then I'll be back to get back to my hosting duties for the last 2 pieces of conversation. Bye.
All right. I think
you go ahead. You take charge with this, because truthfully,
dude, he's backstage blowing his kisses. I see that. Oh my gosh.
Truthfully, I don't have too much to say. Like, it was the finale that I didn't want. Maybe I guess I could say. Like, I don't know. It left so much to be desired. Is how I could sum it up, I think.
Yeah, and truthfully, like, I don't have a ton of things that I want to talk about, like, for just stuff throughout the season. I mean, it helps that they dropped it as a batch, so we're not going like episode by episode or anything like that. Most of the things that I want to talk about are like heavy spoiler stuff towards the end.
Sure.
Realistically. So, I mean, as is the tradition though, from last week's episode, we should do a little 3, 2, 1 countdown. Although I think I know where we're both gonna be. So, yeah. Squid Game season 3 in 3, 2, 1.
It's like it's a diagonal thumbs down. It's like a diagonal thumbs down, man. Because like, it's not terrible by any means, but yeah.
So I know that I usually talk about a lot of big picture stuff when we talk MCU and things like that, but that is truthfully how I feel about this show, because like, for me, the ending of this show is so underwhelming because it treats it like it's some huge climactic ending to like a 6 to 10 season show. And in reality, this show's been 2 seasons. Like, I don't care how basically you want to split it.
Yeah, yep. 100%.
This was season 2 of the show. They just split it up into 2 parts, and they were both shorter parts. It's not like, both season 2 and 3 were shorter than season 1. So it's not like they were even full length. Yeah. It really was just like season 2 would have been slightly too long. So they split it up, and it also happened to be the last episode. So from that regard, like, it just like nothing hits as hard as it feels like it's trying to go for. And even the moments where it's like, oh yeah, they're trying to pull you in, the emotional moments, even just the slow motion camera work or the music that's tied along to it. I feel like it thought it was more than it is, you know? Like it walked into the room all confident, but in
Yeah.
reality it's just like you're the new guy here. Like what are you doing strutting in? Like you're not that guy.
There's so many like stories that just felt like they ended with such a non specific like terrible conclusion emotionally, and
Yeah.
not ever giving me a sort of feeling of satisfaction that I would hope from any of the storylines, really. Like it's crazy that every plot line that they were working on, not a single one felt satisfactory. And maybe I'm being whiny in saying that, but I just feel like it was almost a disservice to continue it as long as it had gone on. Like, I know we just talked about it being 2 seasons, but maybe just season 1 would have been fine. And like thinking about this continuation, I barring the ending of season 1 being like Gi-hun saying like I'm going to find you, barring that, like if that was not part of it, I think season 1, the ending of season 1, the revelations that come at the end of season 1, I feel like that would have been fine. There's nothing that's really done in this season 2 that carried forward in a way that made me enjoy or think that I spent my time well. Because I think of like the stuff with the front man and his brother, without like getting too specific and spoilery. There's little moments like with the front man and Gi-hun, for example, like that could have been so cool, but there was nothing really done with that either. And also the random plot line of the random guy working at the theme park and his daughter and then one of the guards. It's so all over the place and random. I don't know. It was still an enjoyable season of television. I still like watching the games. That stuff is fun, and watching the contestants do their best and watch them become terrible people in a way. A lot of the time, that is entertaining for sure.
Dude,
But
I even push back on that.
really,
Like okay, it's not that I had a terrible time with the games or watching this or season 2, watching either of these last couple seasons, but like even comparing some of the games, like the hide and seek game, which I think was the second to last one, where they had like the red team and blue team for hide and seek. That to me, the most comparable game from season 1 is the marbles game, where it was like everybody was paired up and
picking a team,
basically
yeah.
50% of the people are dying, and you're aware of that. But when I contrast that episode compared to the hide and seek game, it's night and day. Like the marbles episode is like the emotions are crazy high, these relationships that have built up. We're focusing on so many different character dynamics that they have built up through that whole season, and it's probably the best episode of the entire show in my opinion, from my memory at least. um, and then you contrast that to this hide and seek episode where like there's really only one emotional through line that they play into with the mother and her son. It's kind of the
Yeah.
biggest thing in my opinion that
Mhm.
they play into. I guess there's a couple other
The
characters, yeah. But like that's the only one that sticks out to me, and the rest of it just like I don't know. For when you set the stakes as high as you do for a game like the marbles game, and then it just kind of is a lot of people getting stabbed, and you realize like I don't care about these people as much as I feel like I should. And even the stuff that happened with the mother and son, like I, I didn't even like what they chose to do for
Like
me. Like
I felt nothing there because it felt like you were trying to add these crazy stakes isn't even the right word, but you're just trying to add this other dimension of tension and loss potentially. But I like the entire time when they were cutting to scenes earlier in the game and with him struggling and walking around trying to that feeling that he has at the end there, where like he's willing to off this woman who just had her baby. And I guess spoilers. But the too late for that now, I guess. But that moment, like that, how you're feeling so desperate. Why does that, like, I get it. There's a little bit of time left, but the stakes have been the same throughout this entire time. And you choose the worst possible time when you're going to actually follow through with it. And I like the worst person you could have done it to, a fresh, like a new mother. I just don't buy with that character and how innocent he was before this.
Yeah.
I just don't buy that he would even do anything like that, because again, and even they're one of the characters that they spent a lot of time with prior to that game. I just don't think that was properly established within that character and the way that he would go about this situation.
Yeah. Well, and one of the other things I think about it, and this could just be me, but like when I watch a show like this, as much as I want a happy ending, I think some of the strength in their writing is also in writing just like how demented these people can get in these situations. Like how far people are willing to go and how awful they are can actually like it adds to the emotions of the story, so that when a good guy is victorious, there's more reward to that. So I actually think in that moment, like I was juggling like all of the different scenarios in my head of who's gonna end up dying here is basically the question. Um, and for me, that was like kind of the most boring, least risky, confusing ones. But this is also true even for the final game, which we're into heavy spoilers now. But like, this sounds crazy to
It's not a
say.
mystery, yeah.
I'm just gonna lay it out there how I think. I think the baby should have died.
Really?
Not because
and
it deserves to,
sure.
but I was just imagining scenarios where it's like Giyun, the baby, and then I forget the baby's dad's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
But where it's like the three of them, and then like something about he kills Giyun, and then he's choosing like, do I live or do I let my kid live? Like, because that's kind of where his character was building the conflict of like, he's kind of teaming with the wrong people, and I just thought like as soon as the baby was introduced, I said, dude, there's going to be some crazy messed up situation where someone's going to sacrifice this child. And as messed up as that is, like it adds to the emotional weight of everything that's happening. How much we
because
hate
there's
these
really only two
people.
options when it comes to like a baby in this kind of story. It either survives or it dies horribly. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
And I just think again, like the safest thing they could have done, just let the baby win. Gideon sacrifices himself, and that's meant to be like a big climactic ending. Like to me, like once we got to that point, I'm like, dude, they're just like, they're on the green on a golf course, and the hole is right there, and they're just tapping it in. It's safe, it's easy. They're not swinging for anything. Like I don't know. It's to me, it just like it's nothing. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's so weird to say that it just didn't really do anything for me, and I kind of left just like, what was the point? On top of like then everything just like blows up because the Coast Guard showed up.
Yeah, dude.
I'm confused by like full lockdown mode and blow up all the evidence. I thought we were prepared for these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, they just kind
And
of threw in the towel.
for me also, I want to touch back on the dad and the baby thing. I understand that this show has a level of cartoonishly evil people. Like that's a lot of the charm of season 1. Even there's a lot of like cartoonish evilness from all sides, from even people that you wouldn't expect. But I feel like this was a jump too far for me also. Like that is his literal child. I understand that you've written this character as like he's the douchey ex-boyfriend of this girl, and they had their fling for whatever reason, and then she got tired of his shit and then moved on from him, but now they're back in this situation together. But dude, like why the 2 episodes previously, you were showing me him trying to save the girl and save the not save the baby because Gihun already had the baby across the jump rope game, but he was trying to save her. And so I just don't buy like the one thing that you have to like continue this idea of of this woman. Granted, she says to him like, "Me and my baby, we want nothing to do with you," during that game, and we never want to see you again, even in our dreams or whatever. Maybe that's like a turning point for him, but that was never all. That also wasn't very clearly stated and clearly shown. I don't think that like that was maybe where he just went off the deep end because like.
Yeah.
He had been evil the entire time where he was running around in the hide and seek game right before that, stabbing everybody. Like, I don't know, man. It felt like a bridge too far which is strange, I know, when we're talking about circumstances like this show exists in. But I mean, I don't know. Squid Game season 3 dropped the ball. Season 2 of Squid Game. It's extended season 2. Drop the ball. And
can I just say, the final scene of the season pissed me off.
Oh, yep.
Like we knew they were doing a US spinoff, but like for that to be the final scene of just like, oh yeah, by the way, like this is happening to a lot of other people potentially around the world. Also, the fact I thought like the reason why they played, I think it's called like. Is it Dokji? Yeah, like the reason why they play it is because that's like a popular game in their culture.
Yeah.
And they're playing it in the streets of LA. Like, what are we doing? It's just a little like I thought they'd be doing something a little different. But I don't know, just like to throw in a really popular actress and just be like, oh yeah, like we're clearly teasing this person will be in the continuation project that is happening. Like I don't for this to so quickly just be like a mediocre conclusion and oh by the way we're already moving into the next thing. Like here's the next thing to look forward to. It's like I don't know. I would feel differently. I would feel differently if they were like still going to continue this like main storyline and we got a scene like that. So we learned that there were other games happening throughout the world. That could be an interesting storyline. But the fact that this is kind of their like, yep, we're done. Give it to the United States. Let them do their thing with it. I don't know. It's just underwhelming. Super underwhelming.
For sure. Couldn't agree more, brother, man. Get it out my face, man.
Yeah.
Bring on the US one or whatever, I guess. Don't even know if I'll care about that one.
I mean, I'll probably watch it, but I don't know. Yeah.
Aiden, you're muted.
Great discussion from the boys here. Moving into our next segment, another TV show that we have watched. And this one, we can actually do our 3, 2, 1, what did we think? And that is Marvel's 2025.
We did that for Squid Game.
We did that for Squid
Game. Yeah, but not all 3 of us. And then we're not going to be able to do it for the Bear. I mean, it's logistics, man. Come on.
Sure. You're right.
Anyways, Marvel's 2025 live action TV show Ironheart has come out in all of its glory. Came out. We're a little bit late on this discussion, as we are with Squid Game and the Bear, but this is the catch-up episode. Marvel's Ironheart TV show. What did we think? 3, 2, 1. Very and I'd like to start if I can. Look.
Wait, what the hell was yours, Ben?
I didn't get a chance to explain, I guess. I don't.
Oh, well, I mean,
I'll say for a second if you want, but I was saying Right Hand to the Man. I'd watched 2 episodes, and last week I talked about how I absolutely hated it. 3 through 6, a big step up. So I'm
okay.
I was wrong.
Okay.
I was wrong about saying that I forget the word that I used, but like the thought of clicking on another episode
pains
to me
you or something. Yeah.
Yeah. After episode 3, that thought was gone. I still have lots of
Okay,
complaints.
Dude, that's actually crazy because I had been telling y'all, I told y'all, bro, episode 3, I was like, episode 3's pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good.
I absolutely like that. That was, again, as Ben, that was the turning point for me. I really loved episode 3. I really love Riri a lot. I think she is great. I think she's great in this show.
Hey, I just want to point out that is great. That is great. No, that's great to hear because I remember after Wakanda Forever, I remember when we were sitting here talking about.
I was kind of cautious on her.
No, you didn't really care for her. So, but that is great. I think so. I think for that reason alone, the show kind of served its purpose. So I think that's great.
Yes,
continue.
1000%. And like, if there's anything I can take away from the show, it's that I am so excited to see her in whatever she's in next. I tweeted, I so badly wish that they gave her a better supporting cast because everybody that she was on screen with the entire show acted circles around them. And it pissed me off because nobody
Even Anthony
was there
Ramos?
to match. I love Anthony Ramos. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
Ramos.
And I love his cast. I love his casting in here. She kind of acted circles around him a little bit too. And I love him. I'm a big Anthony Ramos fan. Dominique Thorne absolutely killed it. I love Riri. I'm so excited to see whatever she's in next. All of the flying scenes, all of the action scenes were so good, man. And it genuinely is, or has so many really good qualities. There's also a lot of things that I really don't like. I'll get into this first point, and then obviously we can just flow with the conversation. The theater group that was the crime syndicate group that she joined. It looked like a group of theater kids. And it's just, it was so hard to take any of them serious throughout the entire series. I didn't care about any of them. It felt really corny. It felt really Disney Channel, like early Disney Channel vibes. And there's a lot of moments through the show that are just bad. And one of the main things that I absolutely hate that I cannot give any credit to the show for is the AI of her dead friend. That is very bad.
Really?
I hated that. I think it's such a bad concept.
As a plot line thing? Okay.
Everything about it. Because
that's crazy.
I don't know. It doesn't really allow, and I get the point of the show, especially with the finale. Riri doesn't get a lot of chance for growth. A lot of it has to come from her failing, and a lot of it has to come from her facing, the mistakes and the consequences of her decisions. And that's just one aspect that just holds her back so much from, being able to grow from what I would say she is supposed to grow from. I don't like the whole AI of my dead friend that I'm supposed to be grieving. I also hated, and we'll get into spoilers since, the show's been out and we're just gonna, have the conversation go. Sorry. I also hated the moment that her brother sees her for the first time and just kind of has the most whatever horribly acted reaction ever. He looks at her and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not cool." He tries to touch her and then he's like, "If you think I'm okay with this, that's it. I'm done." If I saw my dead sister walking in front of me, like, bro, I'm bursting into tears. Like I'm asking questions. I'm going crazy. He's just like, "That's not cool, man. I'm done. That's not cool," and then leaves. And so I don't know. There's a lot of aspects that plot device brought in that I don't know. I really felt like it was. I felt like it was very hand-fisted. She even still goes as far as being like, "You're a glitch, but you're my glitch." Like, still not fully accepting the fact that, like, I don't know. Like, if there's going to be any growth out of that situation, you'd think it'd be her fully accepting her as her friend and as her companion in this suit. Yet she still is just like, "Nope, you're nothing but a computer issue to me, and you're always going to be that. Like, don't forget that."
Well, I think that came at the end of the show. I feel like that came at the end of the show. I think the acceptance of her as more than an AI and like there to like help her came at the end of the show. And I also think, full spoilers here for anybody who hasn't seen Ironheart yet, but I also think that because I'm with you in the sense of like bringing in this AI dead friend thing as like this doesn't actually like help her get over anything. Like she just still has her friend here, and like that's essentially like she has not grown from the experience. She grew when it came to like her stepdad dying and like being able to like overcome that a little bit.
Exactly.
But I think though, with the deal with Mephisto and having her friend actually be here, that's not going to last. Like whenever we see that next, that's not going to last. That's going to go away. And I think that is when the growth of like, I need to learn to survive without her is going to come. And I think that if handled well, I think that's going to be fantastic.
Which is why I said, seeing like everything with the finale and seeing as the show went, like I can excuse it for that, because I'm like, oh yeah, obviously at the end of the show we see that she still hasn't grown from that, and she still hasn't fully grieved that aspect of everything. I still just really didn't like it. Like I don't know, I don't really like that concept of like, yeah, my dead best friend who died in a shootout, like, oh yeah, I grieved my stepdad, we're good, but like my dead best friend's an AI, yeah, cool, I'll keep this around, you know, I'll be fine with it. I really didn't like that. I don't know, I just felt like there was another way you could have maybe went about that. Maybe something with her mom, who is actually alive, I don't know, and is actively
Also,
in her life.
underrated moment in the show, I do want to say, early on, I think it's like episode 2, whenever the mom finds out about the AI Natalie, and then Riri comes home, and then they're talking about it like, oh, when were you going to tell me about Riri? And then like one of the first questions the mom asks, can you make one of, I forget the stepdad's name, but can you make one of him? Gary, can you make one of Gary? Dude, like that's such like a damn, bro. She wants that. So like, I don't know. That was a good moment for me, but whatever.
Yeah. So I really didn't like that plot point, but again, yeah, episode 3, I think there's a lot of really fun stuff in the back half. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Sacha Baron Cohen, oh my god, man, he just automatically steps on screen and is just like you could just feel his presence. He just commands a room. That's the one actor that was able to match Dominique Thorne, man. It was genuinely impressive. And so I like that a lot. But yeah, one of my biggest complaints, just really didn't take any of that crew serious. I really didn't care. There were so many moments, like whenever, especially the magic girl. God, I really hated that. I really genuinely hated that entire plot point and how prevalent she is in the back half, because it feels like there's a conversation they have in the diner where she's like, there's Dormammu and there's this. And it's like, yeah, you're introducing all of these, like you're connecting the movies to these shows for what? I genuinely can say we're probably never going to see that girl continue. We're probably never going to see any of this stuff fully play out. Might not even see any Tommy stuff. Like there are just so many things in these TV shows where they introduce new heroes. Yeah, well, we will, but still, there are so many things. There are so many things in these TV shows where they introduce new characters, and I just struggle to care. Because, like, think about it. All the shows that I did care about and that have been prevalent: WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki season 1, Loki season 2. Everything else, Miss Marvel, she got, that stuff.
But also Miss Marvel, like her best friend never showed up in the Marvels.
So why do I care about these conversations, and why do I care about this fabricated tying in the movies into the TV shows? I struggle to care. I struggle to give any amounts of craps about any connections that you're sitting here discussing about. You, like, I'm supposed to believe like, oh, she trained at Carmitage and then moved to Chicago and now she just runs this. It just all feels so like for the sake of the plot, and I hate that every single time. And this show finally showed me that, oh, it's because they're just introducing these new heroes and trying so hard to tie them into the MCU. So conversations like that, introducing people like her so that you can have that like magical element to fight the Hood with. All of it.
I do think they did a little bit more with her though. Like at the end, the post credit scene, which I thought was a very bad post credit scene, with Anthony Ramos going to see her about the magic. But, like I could see that becoming something, but more from Anthony Ramos' side of things.
Exactly. And then no, like I fully believe that there might be, like, if we get a season 2, it could be like her and Anthony Ramos teaming up against Mephisto. Like I fully believe that there's a lot of cool stuff you could do there. I mean, anything to keep Anthony Ramos in the MCU. I mean, I really liked his portrayal and bits of his character in here, but still, like I don't know, her to just sit there and be like, oh yeah, I know magic. Look at this. Like, oh, I can tell you, like, oh yeah, like fully bought into this conversation. I'm just like, you really expect me to sit here and accept this slop that you're trying to spoon feed me of I trained at Carmitage and now I live in Chicago, and like I'm a very like hey, I'm very important to the plot, and like, you know, this is why it's very fabricated, but just ignore that for a little bit. It's just I just struggled to care a lot with a lot of elements in this show, which is why I fully stand by Riri, and her journey is by far the best part of the show, and is probably the biggest reason I'm coming out of this being like, I'm glad I watched that, because she deserved a lot of that, driving power of the show, because everyone around her is just acting like they're on Wizards of Waverly Place, and it
Even
just
Alden Ehrenreich.
oh, I love Alden Ehrenreich. No, Alden Ehrenreich, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Dominique Thorne. They killed it. I wish they would have gave Alden Ehrenreich a suit. Like, how lazy can you be to just manufacture? Like, give him a suit like he has in the comics. Let him. I don't know. Just God, man, it feels like the writing's all over the place. There's a lot of messy stuff that I just cannot excuse for the life of me, and so that's why I can't like. That's why I struggle to give the show anything more than like a 5.5 out of 10.
Small little critique I have is real quick, and then you can go, Ben. But small critique I have about the show, and mainly originally I had it about Wakanda Forever, but now the show as well. And dude, like, why are her suits so beefy? Why are they so thick?
I love
They're
it.
like
I love
thick
it.
mom. Like, I don't know,
I
bro.
love
Like,
it.
I'm not an
'Cause so
Ironheart
was
comic
Iron
fan.
Man. So was Iron Man. Like from his first movie to now, that's a beefy comparison. That's a beefy comparison. It's not as beefy as hers. It's not as beefy as hers, but she's a teenage girl. Like what? I don't know. Like,
well, sure.
You're gonna
And
sit here and tell me like the nanotech suit and like the suit from Infinity War and Endgame are not as beefy as his first suit?
Dude, they're not fit.
What
Yeah, dude, it's
about?
literally like shaped to Tony's body. What do you mean?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his very first suit in 2008, in the 2008 movie, compared to the Avengers.
Yeah, the very the cave suit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this not her first suit? No, not the cave
What?
suit. His first Iron Man suit.
I disagree with that. The first Iron Man suit, no, that was not thick. That wasn't beefy. Like, it was thick in certain spots.
Compared to the Avengers and the Infinity War suit, yes or no? Is it beefier?
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
this is
yeah,
not,
if we want to do that, okay, sure, I guess.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because,
but if we want to go down that route with the entire technology that she had at her disposal in Wakanda, because I said I had a problem with it in Wakanda Forever as well. It was still a beefy ass suit. It was not conformed to her body.
Because she's a teenage girl that is making her first Iron Man suit. It's
no,
like,
that's.
If his
I'm
suit,
sorry,
if
that's
his
not.
Suit was beefy compared to the Infinity War and Endgame suit, why wouldn't hers be? Like, I could see her getting a slimmer suit in the future.
And I agree with that. I do think
that's
like making it in the garage, them making that in the garage, and them having to make it beefier, and like she doesn't have access to an arc reactor, but like. I don't think just because she's a teenage girl, I disagree with that. I don't think.
Well, I mean, not even that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Like, when Tony was building this stuff, I mean, he was obviously like in his 40s, and you know, his first suit was a little bit beefy. She's a teenage girl and is building her first. Like, I don't. Is that not like enough for you to be like, okay, yeah, I can see why.
But also, like, you bringing up comparing the original, like the first couple Iron Man suits to the Infinity War suits, like, and the like his last movies type suits, like, it's not that much of a difference. Like, we're talking about a thickness layer around the chest because he had to have another arc reactor in there on top of the one that was already in his chest, right? So, like, we're talking about minimal differences, but looking at. I have Ironheart comics pulled up right now, and granted, again, not an Ironheart comic.
Oh yeah,
fan, so like,
it's very slim. It's
like it. So I don't know, and this is a small thing for me. It's not even a big thing. I don't want to make this a big thing. This is just such a small thing.
Too far, it already is.
But like I don't know. Like, I feel like if I were an Ironheart fan, looking at both the Wakanda Forever, her 2 appearances she's had in the MCU so far, being these beefy ass suits and looking nothing like they did in the comics. Like, again, I'm not big on comic accuracy, but like I just feel like real clunky looking. I don't know.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, if you're a diehard Ironheart fan from the comics and you love how that suit looks, and then you get this, I can see why you'd be upset. I personally like it because she is a smaller girl. Like everybody that she shares the screen with, she is very small compared to them. And so I think it's cool that she like makes this entire like this insanely beefy suit because it makes her feel bigger than she is. And like I don't know, especially with what she told her mom, where she's like, "This is my only way to protect you. This is my only way to save you." So like I can see her factoring that into I need to make this as big and beefy as possible because I cannot go down by any means because I need to do this to protect the people I love. And she's a smaller girl. And so like I like that because it to me it screams I want to do so much to protect the people that I love. So that is going to reflect in my work.
To me,
So
it
I love
screams
this.
Ironmonger and Hulkbuster, and it's just like, okay, what are we doing?
I mean, it looks damn good in those fight scenes. That's all I care about. It looked amazing in every fight scene that
It was a
that
cool
she
looking
had.
suit.
Hand to hand, it was great.
It was
I
cool
like
looking
that
suit.
it's beefy. I think it adds a lot to her character. That's
Hey,
my
man.
opinion.
We all have wrong opinions sometimes.
I have a
Hey
correct
man, not all
opinion.
of us are Iron Man suit apologists. Like God, some of those early ones look god awful. Anyways,
What are you saying right now?
We've already had this
What?
discussion. We've already had this discussion in the suit draft. Some of those Iron Man suits are
Really?
bad.
We
I
drafted the
think
early suits and trashed on the later
y'all
ones.
did. Y'all did. I
Wait,
trashed on
what?
I
You trashed on the
his
Endgame suit.
Yeah.
What do you? That's the last
trashed-
suit. What do you mean?
I'm talking about his early suits. I think are bad.
What?
Some of them.
Which
Some of them.
ones?
We've had this
Which ones?
conversation.
I do not remember
We've
this
had this
conversation, bro. What
Go back-
suits?
Go back and rewatch our draft. I've talked about
Our draft ones included
we
like
won't- we
between
won't
Mark
s-
1 and 7. Like
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we won't
saying. Like
we won't spend too much time on this, but like just give me
There
an
are-
example of one of the early suits that you don't like.
there are suits in there that y'all drafted that we talked about, and I was like, I don't like that suit. I don't know them off the top of my head. But there were
We'll
some
just
in
say
there
from
where I
what
was
movie.
like,
Just say
that's
from what
like-
movie.
That's just like a bad suit.
yeah, movie
let me
would
see.
be good enough.
Just say what movie. Like you don't have to give me like a specific mark.
I talked about the Mark V. That's the one with the silver. No, I love the Mark V. The Mark 6. It has hints of silver in there. I said I did not like it. The Mark 9, super beefy. The Mark 10, a lot of the ones with the circle. I think both of those are ugly looking. The Mark 11 is god awful.
So when does it get good during like you're saying the middle ones are good and then the later ones are bad?
No,
Like,
I said a lot of his earlier suit because Charlie said we all have wrong opinions, and I was like, yeah, a lot of those early suits I also agree are god awful, and like those are the ones I would say.
well, I think
Did
they're
he
give or
even
take
wear
god
the
awful
Mark
throughout.
11?
Like
What did he even wear the Mark 11? I don't know, but that thing is
Yeah, that's
ugly.
like I think that's one of the autonomous ones in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I don't
but-
know. I'm not a big Iron Man suit guy, but yeah, the
I think they peaked
Infinity War
in the
suit
Mark 7. I don't know.
is ugly. The Mark 7 is so horrendous.
The
I
Infinity
hate
War
it.
one is ugly, you said?
I hate it. The Infinity War suit's
You
ugly.
hate the Mark 7.
Yeah. The
What
Mark
are we-
7 is so ugly.
Bro, what on earth, Aiden? Aiden, this has
Dude, the
got to be
Mark
one of your
7
most
is
egregious takes,
god-awful.
bro. I'm
The
sorry,
Mark 7
bro.
is horrendous. And that's another
Wait.
example of that suit
Mark-
is so beefy.
Like Mark 3, 4, 7, those are all like the
What?
peak.
The Iron Man 1 suit, the Mark suit, you think that listen, I'm not a like a diehard lover of that suit. How do you think
The
it's
Mark
god
3
awful?
The Mark 3 is decent. The Mark 7 is bad. The Mark 7 is horrendous. And like the
Dude,
bits of the silver on his thighs, bad. I think it looks ugly. It is not a good suit. I will stand by that.
Everyone has incorrect opinions. We need to move on from this.
Yeah, and I'll stand by it. I don't care. I mean, those are
Okay.
god awful suits.
Oh,
The same way y'all shit on anime and Niza too. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, but this is acceptable. Oh, it's acceptable though in this case, right? Because it's y'all two. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. The double teaming is crazy. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, we're like racist or something. I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't put it past y'all. That's all I'm saying.
That's crazy,
think-
bro.
I think I was talking to my friend John about this. Shout out John. He made a cameo in the Jeopardy episode.
Shout out.
But when we both started Ironheart, and he actually hasn't touched it since watching like the first 2 episodes. But my biggest thing, and this is a huge critique that I have of the entire show, and I think I saw the discourse surrounding the show. I might have even sent a post to you guys, but Riri Williams is presented to us in Wakanda Forever and at the start of the show. Yeah, she's a kid, but she's also a genius. She's an inventor. She's incredibly smart. This entire plot line of this show rides on her being stupid enough to get kicked out of school and lose her project funding, and then also still be stupid enough to then turn to crime to try and continue her work. Like, to me, those are two like monumental things that just happen. Because it's like, if she truly is as smart as she's presented to be, number one, she wouldn't get kicked out of school and she wouldn't lose her funding. And number two, even if that did happen, if the first thing happens, her failsafe would not be to turn to crime. She is smart enough. She would not have to go do these shady things and end up working for the hood in order to make money. Like that to me, like, the crux of the show rides on the believability of that. So as much as episodes 3 through 6, I think, pick up and become a lot better, I couldn't help but think all of these things are happening because this girl who's supposed to be incredibly smart was incredibly stupid. And that hindered literally everything. Because that, I mean, people were posting episode clips from, like, I think it was the first episode where she talks about, would Tony Stark be able to do all this if he wasn't a billionaire? It's like, yeah, he built it in a cave,
yeah,
a box of scraps.
As for her getting kicked out of
think-
school, though, I would like she got kicked out because she was trying to make money. She was doing people's projects for them, and then that's why she got kicked out. She was doing people's projects for them,
Which is stupid.
getting paid for it, and then she got kicked out.
But did Tony
which
not
is
also
dumb.
do stupid? Did Tony not also do like incredibly stupid things as well? Like, and that's like
Yeah.
key to his character arc. I think the same thing goes here. And
Yeah,
also
but the whole
and that's
the whole thing with Tony Stark is, okay, even when he lost everything, Iron Man 3, that's essentially what you can compare the start of Ironheart to. She loses her funding, she's kicked out of school, she lost everything. Tony resorts to his wit and his resourcefulness to be able to still outsmart his villains and still defeat the Mandarin, you know? Like, he's able to still operate and function. It's not like he said, "Oh shoot, I don't have my suits anymore. Let me go join a gang and start doing crimes." Like that.
Yeah,
there's a big difference between those things.
Where
Here's
does she
where
make the
where
money from, though?
I'll push back on the billionaire comment. I mean, you know, she's in this universe. She's not watching Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Like, she's in this universe. She sees billionaire Tony Stark saving the world with his iron suit. She doesn't see him in that cave, like, you know, putting together a manufactured suit and then, you know, losing everything in Iron Man 3 and bouncing back. Like, she just sees billionaire Tony Stark flying around. Like, and at the end of the day, she's a kid. Like Tony Stark is a grown man. Like, she's
Such
a
bad
kid.
defense.
I think that's a great defense because, like, what is she gonna do? Use her wits and smarts to, like, you know, defeat the villain and protect her family from a drive-by? Like, no, she's like, I gotta get it at any means necessary because all of this what happened to Gary and Natalie could happen to me and my mom.
My whole point is that if she is so smart, which we're supposed to believe that she is, then she would not be dumb enough to turn to crime in order to make that money and continue with her projects. Like that.
Well, okay, but where's the like, if she's dumb for selling her wits to her other classmates and getting kicked out of school for that, and that's how she was making money before, but then she's dumb for also turning, like, where does she get to be smart here? Where's the smart decision?
Okay,
so like, what's the smart decision that she can make there?
And the truth is, my answer to this will mean that we don't have this season of the show because none of it would have happened. But the actual answer that I would say is, if you lose funding and you get kicked out of school, go to a different school. You're incredibly smart. You have this technology. You have this knowledge and technology. You don't think that she could go to a different school, get funding, get a grant of some kind, and continue her work? If she's so smart, she can do that. That's the point. It's stupid that this is the result that she turns to. The thing that she turns to is joining a gang and literally committing crimes. Like, that is insane to me.
I feel like it's harder to just, it's easier to say, like, just go to another school and get enrolled and start work in and hopefully get a grant than it is to actually do that in execution. Like, I don't know.
Wouldn't a smart person try that before becoming a criminal? Like, that's my whole thing. It just seems
That's fair.
it seems stupid to me.
I also think she could have just called
also-
the Wakandans and asked for money at some
Also a
point.
great point. Also a
Yeah.
great point. How is she broke? I'm sorry. How is she broke?
Sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't know. That to me was the whole show rides on you
But then
being convinced that she's stupid enough to get herself in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I give it a lot of grace just because she is just a kid, and this isn't like the traditional hero arc or hero story that we usually see. I mean, she literally makes a deal with the devil to get her friend back. Who in their right mind would ever do that? And it's like, well, it's not traditional, and so it's supposed to raise those questions to you because Spider-Man wouldn't have done that. Tony Stark wouldn't have done that, and it's like, well,
Spider-Man
Peter
would
Parker would have done that. Are you kidding me?
made a deal with the
been
devil
with it. He
to.
has been
I know,
with
in a comic run, but
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
from what we've seen out of Tom Holland,
Oh,
Spider-Man,
Tom
Tom
to
would
get Aunt
absolutely
May
do
back.
that.
Oh yeah. To get Aunt May
100%.
back. Yeah.
make a deal with the devil to bring her
To
back
get
to life.
to
Yes.
get Aunt May back. Oh
Yes.
I
yeah.
don't.
Dude,
I think that contradicts the entire plot of No Way Home, the entire arc he goes on of No Way Home. Why would he not get? Why would he not get like losing his identity and losing Aunt May? Like, okay, so then why doesn't he? Why doesn't he do that in No Way Home? How come he goes to call and like moves into
Well,
a
that's
dorm and is
unfair.
fine to start
That's
over?
an unfair point right there.
Well, why not? Why doesn't he?
Wait,
if he
what?
definitely would do that.
You can't just say that any character can be like, oh, Mephisto, come here. I want to
That's
shake
what
your
y'all
hand
are
and sign a deal.
saying.
What?
That's what y'all are
No,
saying.
what? No,
You're
we're not
saying
saying
he would
Mephisto could
definitely
just
do that.
what?
We're saying-
We're saying
okay.
if Mephisto came to him, like yes, he would make that decision. Like if
I don't-
Mephisto came to him
Mephisto
and
was
gave
sitting
him
in the
that
diner,
offer.
just like Riri Williams gave him that offer, he would be tempted, and I think he would take that deal. Absolutely. If he was in
No, I
Riri's
completely
shoes with
disagree.
Aunt May, I think
Completely
so.
disagree.
Because I don't know how that combats his arc in No Way Home. His arc in No Way Home was more about like responsibility and also not.
But
Killing.
my whole point was, okay, so then why didn't he just go do that in No Way Home? How come he didn't just seek
You
out
don't
Doctor
just get
Strange
to
to see if
do
there's
that.
anything to do? That's what I'm saying. Find something to try and reverse Aunt May dying or everyone forgetting that he exists.
He
Why
might.
didn't he?
He did try and erase everyone, forgetting it.
Well, and
What do you
also when
mean?
Aunt May died, he had other things going on. Like he had like the villains were out there, and like when he met Toby and Andrew, like that
that's
kind of like
what I'm
all went
saying.
on a different train. And then
Yeah, that
by the end of
happens halfway
that,
through
like,
the movie.
and by the
What
end
do
of
you-
that, Doctor Strange was like, Doctor Strange. He asked Doctor Strange, make people forget about me. So then he can't go to Doctor Strange anymore at that point. But I guess he could. But
Like
it
this is
it'd be
just
a whole
so
thing.
I don't know. Like I could say the same thing. Like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like this is just a whole bunch of like, oh, but hypothetically, oh, but he could do this because y'all are saying, oh yeah, he wouldn't like. I think if Mephisto came and offered him a deal to bring Aunt May back, he would do it. I'm saying he wouldn't.
I mean, I feel
And
like,
then-
and as
And then
me,
y'all
like,
are saying, well, in it, like that doesn't contradict anything in No Way Home. And I'm like, well, at the end of No Way Home, everyone forgets Peter Parker has ever existed, and he's starting a new life. So how come at the end of No Way Home he wasn't fighting tooth and nail to try and make everyone remember him, to try and bring Aunt May back?
Because the
Like, I don't-
movie ended. That's not what the movie
exactly,
was about.
and like,
Well, hold on.
I'm arguing the same
For-
thing. I'm arguing
for an
that-
actual
I'm
like
arguing
character.
the same stuff.
From an actual character point of view, Peter Parker is absolutely selfish, especially Tom Holland's. Like that's one of my main critiques of Far From Home is like he doesn't want to. He's asked to help save the
I'd
world,
agree
and
with
he
that.
doesn't want to
I'd
do
agree.
it. So, in another opportunity for him to be selfish and make the decision, make the deal with the devil to bring Aunt May back, he would 1000% do that. Now, as for what you're talking about with maybe like how he didn't tell MJ after why he didn't tell MJ that, oh, you know me, I'm Peter Parker at the end of the movie. Like, sure, that's a fair point. And there's moments he has a lot more moments of selflessness than he does of selfishness.
Well,
but he is absolutely capable of selfishness when it is big moments like that where he feels like he's down in the gutter or something
exactly, because that was Far From Home, which took place before the events of No Way Home. After No Way Home, after everything that's happened, he still decides not to tell MJ who he is. He still decides to just rough it out in a dorm room and, make do with what he has. So
I
at the
feel
end of the
well.
day, what are you doing? Well, because the movie ended. Oh well,
No, no,
because
no.
that's the story they tried to tell. And it's like, okay, we're just like,
Well,
we're getting
he just
into
didn't
this,
tell
like,
MJ because he didn't want to put MJ in harm's way anymore. Asking Aunt May to come back, that's nothing like that. Like it's not asking Mephisto to what I don't know what he would trade for that. What he would, but like for example, like if he give up being Spider-Man to bring Aunt May back, I think he'd do that. I think he would do that.
I just think
I don't think he would. And
like
I mean, that's just
for me,
it's
where I think I kind of land with this discussion is I don't think we've seen enough of Tom Holland's Spider-Man post the events of No Way Home to know how he's going to act. If we're talking about Homecoming through most of No Way Home, Peter Parker is an idiot. And the critique that he gets a lot, which I think most of us agree with, is that his movie trilogy really just feels like one movie's worth of development because he's constantly making stupid decisions. And it kind of becomes like did we really need a full trilogy for him to just not really mess things up and finally make some smart choices? So I don't think we've seen enough of post No Way Home Tom Holland to be able to properly judge where his character is at. But if we get to Spider-Man Brand New Day and he is like still making stupid choices and acting similar to how he did throughout the his trilogy, I'd still side with I think he would potentially take that deal with Mephisto. Now, they haven't written it in, whatever. Like they can choose to do whatever they want, but we're saying if he was sitting at a table with Mephisto right now, I would say it's more likely than not that he takes that deal. And that's just my opinion.
And especially if Mephisto presents it the way that he presented it to Riri, bro. When Riri asked, like, well, what do you want in return? Or what do I lose? And he always says, nothing you're gonna miss. Especially if he puts it towards him like that. 1000% he's taking that, bro. If Peter's not thinking about it, I'm like, oh, nothing I'm gonna miss, and I get Aunt May back, let's do it. Of course, man.
Agree to disagree. And all of it just stems back from my point of Ironheart is not these, or Riri Williams, Ironheart, she is not these people. So decisions that she makes, I mean, we could sit and point at them all day and be like, well, Tony would have done this. You're dumb for this. You're dumb. And that's the whole point I was trying to make. I just brought in Spider-Man and then everything derailed.
I know, and I agree with you on that. The point you're making, I agree with you.
Yeah, especially sitting there. Here's a better example. Especially sitting there with Mephisto, and you're like, "Oh my God, she's taking that deal. Like, did she not learn anything? Captain America wouldn't do that. She's not Captain America. She's not perfect. Like she's Riri Williams. She is a teenage girl. That's just, and I love it. And I love that she does make those stupid decisions. I love that she doesn't immediately think about going back to school, and she's just like, yeah, this is a better way to make money and keep funding my suit to save and protect my family. And this is the quickest way I can get it instead of sitting through lectures, instead of doing that. All right, I'll do it. And I'll make all this bread doing this stuff because the means justify the end, in my opinion. And so I like that about her. And I like that this is a new take. And that's what I was trying to convey because, yeah, she's not Iron. She's not Captain America.
She's flawed and she makes flawed decisions.
Exactly. And that's all I was trying to say. I bring Spider-Man into this and oh my God, everything goes crazy.
Well, because I mean, that's where, because for me, it was like, I'm not talking about Spider-Man anymore. I'm just saying, but for me, like I was with you, but then you bridged off there and I was like, all right, dude, like what the
I just used the wrong name of a hero, whatever. Anyways, I still stand by my decision.
For me, cool. Ironheart, 6 out of 10 show.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hated the first 2 episodes. Really thought they were just fumbling everything, and then it kind of locked in a little bit. I don't know. The Mephisto stuff didn't wow me. I don't know. Like
it's just hard to care. Yeah, it's just hard to care.
I don't know. I feel like it's been talked about for too long at this point. Where like when we're finally seeing it on screen, it hasn't given me anything to fully grasp onto to really care about until we see it in more things. But
I agree.
Liked it more than I thought I would, but still kind of whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Mephisto stuff is interesting, just because like he also talks about how he has so many other prospects right now, and that's why he can't
really
come
cool.
to Anthony Ramos's character's side right away. So as a show, I think I'm in agreement. Like it's it's middle of the road. Like I'd probably agree with like a 6, maybe. Nah, 6.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe 6.5, but I agree with a 6.
I'm at a decent
Riri,
5.5.
Riri's a great character, I think. And I personally enjoy the AI angle with her best friend and everything like that. I think that was great for her character, and I think again that also speaks to her being flawed and making flawed decisions. Who you pointing at, boy? There's nobody over there. You just pointed in a stupid direction.
For me, that's for me. You're right here.
Oh, really?
Get a load of
Okay.
this guy.
Oh, that's way.
I think that if anything also speaks to like she's a flawed character who makes flawed choices. When with the granted the AI thing, her becoming like the AI becoming her friend, that wasn't really a decision of hers. It just happened because her brain was hooked up to it. But I do think that it challenged her throughout the show, and I think that the resolution of it all was. Did I say revolution or resolution? Resolution of it all was enjoyable and gives me hope for a potentially more dramatic continuation of that relationship and that dynamic. Because I don't think that this show was too heavy on like the character drama and the character emotions and everything like that. They tried to fabricate some things, like the brother being so upset about his AI sister, and also Anthony Ramos's character and his dad. That did nothing for me. I don't think that did anything for his character either. Yeah, it was so bad.
I didn't care.
Maybe like a little bit with Anthony Ramos and the cousin, but even then it kind of fell flat. But it was still, that cousin character was a good character, and that's why I think episode 3 worked so well. Alden Ehrenreich was also great, and I love that they made him Obadiah Stane's son. I think that was a really cool angle. I almost don't like saying that because it feels like very much one of my complaints that I think I've said to you guys multiple times is about Star Wars is their tendency to always call back to the Skywalker stuff, and any way they can. They'll have cameos from different characters from way back when. They'll continuously do that. So this kind of feels like in that same vein, like having Obadiah Stane's son all of a sudden from the very first MCU project show up in 2025. Like that's kind of what it seems like. But I do think it was done really well, with the exception of like making him a superpowered individual. I know he's in the comics, but I don't know that I feel like that decision, similar to how Aiden feels about the Magic Girl, I don't think that that's going to go anywhere. I don't think he'll come back, even though he's played by Alden Ehrenreich. I don't think he'll be back. I don't think we'll see him.
That was my pick for the Thing in the MCU, and so whenever me and you, Charlie, did our fan casting, which I still would like it. I'm glad we have Eben Moss-Backrack though. But I just think that's funny. One last thing so that we can get into our bear talk. Charlie, I'm going to ask you this because I saw this on Twitter, and I know I personally don't. Do you have any black friends that just casually wear their beanies like that all the time? Because why do I see that so much in media? Because I know I personally don't have any black friends that wear beanies.
Wait, the brother character?
and the Magic Girl. Like they just, I don't know. I saw people complaining about that trope on Twitter. They were like, why do they always just have like the soft, like friend character that's black? Where it's like the hairstyle that Miles has. It's just, that trope is so weird to me.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to know if you had.
Definitely not.
Or if
Nope.
you had anyone in your life that.
It very much falls into like the same discussion. There's a lot of discussion of like, in the video game space, I know you guys would know this, about like black hair and how it's designed by game developers. Like they only do like 2 or 3 styles, but like there's so many different ones you could do. But it's always just like the dreads that are hanging out a little bit, or it's just like the waves or whatever. And I don't know. It's very reminiscent of that conversation. But yeah, I definitely don't.
I was gonna text you that and be like, "Hey, man, I know you're half black. Do you know anybody, literally anybody that wears their beanies like that?" I just thought it was funny. That trope is just so like,
that is funny. That's good.
Odd to me. It was very distracting. Every time I saw like her wearing her hipster glasses and her beanie, I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Anyways, any final quick Ironheart thoughts?
Nope. Gonna leave my
I
mind very soon, I think.
I hope the next time we see her character, it is as well
Young
written
Avengers.
for her as
Oh.
this time around. Because I think we can agree that in Wakanda Forever, she didn't have the best.
Yeah. I mean, she was the highlight of her own show, which is good and what you would expect, but not always the case.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, that brings us into our next segment, and that is The Bear. Me and Charlie will be talking about The Bear season 4. And Ben's inclusion in this discussion will span from season 1 to season 2, episode 6. So, Ben, that being said, start us off on your thoughts of your journey of The Bear so far.
I'll keep it brief. I don't know how much on episode we've talked about it, but I know Charlie and I have discussed this a little bit. Might have been before we actually recorded or afterwards, but The Bear's been a really interesting show for me. Season 1 especially was just so character focused and like not very story driven. And so for me, like I was completely pulled into the world and very engaged with everything that was happening. But I also feel like the show was kind of just coming and going, like in one ear, out the other, and not in a bad way because like I enjoyed everything I was watching. I loved the characters. It's one of the most like real feeling shows that I've ever seen where it's just like, yeah, these are just real people that I'm watching just because everyone plays their part so perfectly and the acting is so spot on, the situations and just capturing the real life like chaos of different work environments and kitchens and whatever. It's like they just, they found some real people and threw a film crew in there is really what it feels like. So I liked season 1 a lot, but um I do feel like I don't remember much about what actually happens as much as I remember like the feelings that I got watching the show, which is just a different perspective for me in watching something. And I think I mentioned this, but my favorite episode was the final one of season 1 just because of Carmi's speech, which was incredible. Probably the
And you're
best.
talking about his speech at the meeting
Yeah.
Yes.
that he gives? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See, in my head, that's the only speech. Like, if there was another one that
No, I
episode,
just forget. I just forget because he does have like other like cool monologue moments throughout
yeah,
the show, but yeah, I just forgot.
yeah. Um, so season 2 so far, I mean, it's been a lot of the same story when it comes to just like how much I care about things with the characters and being brought into the world. Obviously, there's a bit more of a through line with them, the anticipation of opening a new restaurant and everything that goes into that. Um, there's some weird things that I'm like, I would say I'm not like against, but I'm conflicted on. Mainly the inclusion of Claire at this point for
Oh
me.
wow,
And
interesting.
the reason for that is like Carmi so far has been presented as this like he's fully in and dedicated to this restaurant. And like when I think of other pieces of media where you see somebody who's like completely and fully in on whatever their goal is, they're willing to sacrifice other things. And like there's people who are just like, I would never go party on the weekends. I would never get in a relationship because I'm too focused on my goals. And so like not that I'm against it. I'm not saying that at all. But Carmi has always seemed like the person where he's like, I don't know if I could get
Yeah.
into a relationship right now because I got this restaurant to open. Now, I assume that will cause more issues as time goes on. And obviously, I don't know where that ends up at this point in the show. But that is just one of those things where it's just like, the Carmi I don't know that he would make that decision to go fully in and start officially dating Claire. I don't know if that happens. We'll see. But I mean, obviously, I know he's conflicted because it's like he's so obsessed, and then you just want like you want that slice of normal life where you can find it. And so
Yeah.
if she is that for him, then I can, I get both sides of it. So more so just like conflicted on that and not necessarily don't like it at this point. And then episode 6, I mean, cameos the episode. Like I don't know. I feel like for me, like seeing a bunch of really well-known actors and actresses, it doesn't do like a lot for me as much as more so like I know that they're all going to bring their A game for what the show needs. That's really the part that I care about more. So stressful episode, to be honest. I mean, just absolutely stress
I think that one
inducing.
is still my favorite. Like I love Forks as well,
Okay.
like Aiden does, but Fishes is
Wow.
still my favorite episode.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really good episode. I feel like there's a lot of emotions that were presented, but I feel like a lot of them were in pretty subtle ways, like the stuff with Carmi's mom and everything. And I feel like that ramped up towards the end of the episode, but it kind of felt like we were just getting into some of the bigger climax moments of all of these emotions coming to a head. Obviously, there was like little interactions um, with like Richie and their uncle, if I'm remembering names
Yeah.
correctly.
Oh,
There's little conversations about that, of course, but I feel like we were just getting to like the real meat of some of it. But it was a really good episode, and I'm excited to continue. So I'm still all the way bought in, and I'm really enjoying it. I still think that this will be a show, at least at this point, where like months after watching it, I'll reflect back and be like, yeah, that was a good show. Like it made me feel these types of ways. I won't be able to tell you much about what actually happened in them.
wow.
Which
That's
I mean,
interesting.
which is like, is that crazy to say? Because like season
Uh,
one,
A little bit,
they're in a
yeah.
restaurant. I don't know.
It
Like,
is. It is crazy to say.
I
okay,
think
maybe
I
that'll
think
change, but that's just where I'm at right now.
I don't know. I don't honestly, I don't think you would really change after if you're this far in and you're feeling that way. I think a lot of the grab is everything with Mikey and everything about how these characters react to whatever they're presented with. You know, like we see Tina, she's all closed off, and then you know we kind of see her gradually open. We see Sydney kind of going in head first to this complete mess and not knowing if like this is worth it or not. Army, I mean, you could write essays on his character and everything that he reacts to and why he does the things that he does. And I think that's the ultimate buy-in of the show is caring so much about those characters. Because in season 3, you know, this is no surprise, man, we've talked about it, but you know, you don't get a lot of that stuff. In season 4, you know, we have our thoughts on it that we'll get into later. But again, it's always about looking forward to how do they respond to this? What's going to happen next season after this character did this or said this or felt like this? And I feel like if you're not fully captivated by those qualities of the show, and you do think like, you know, yeah, this is in one ear out the other, I'll look back and you know I'll appreciate the show, but that's probably it. Like I don't know, you heard Charlie say it earlier. I call back the Forks episode all the time just because of like that the journey of the character in that show in that episode and you know everything about what makes that person and those are things that I can bite and grab onto because a lot of people have their moments. You know, Tina's had her moments like that. Granted, not as fleshed out as the Forks episode, but Tina's had her moments like Marcus and everything with his mom and whatnot. Their Army Sid, all of them have their moments to where you're like, this character is so uniquely crafted that I can't wait to see what would happen if this character said this or if this character did this. So when you get like those moments or you know you get those episodes, they hit that much harder. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're alone by any means on believing that. I'm sure there are a lot of other people that feel the same way. Um, but like for me and like for Charlie, I think that is a blasphemous thing to say because I know I don't feel that way at all. But I you know I'm sure you're not the only one. It just so happens you have two people that are obsessed with it and you know one person that's like yeah this is good.
I mean, I'm probably not wording it the best way because like I'm definitely fully bought into and like the things I care about are the characters and those character moments. I'm more so saying like the things that cause these character moments to happen for me don't matter as much. So like the first season, like I can chop it up to they're working in a restaurant Like that's to me, that's all I need. And then I can still point to specific characters, character moments. Those things are what I care about more. Same thing
I
here.
feel
It's
like
like they're opening a restaurant. Like at a base level, that is what is guiding and allowing every other little important character thing to happen. And I do care about those things.
yeah, I mean, it's not a very like it's not a very plot driven show. I think it's very much more of a character driven show. But like even those plot elements, like it's not really just like they're working at a restaurant. It's like his older brother killed himself and just left this restaurant to him, and now he just has
The
to run
restaurant is
it, and
struggling, and like they don't
like
know
it's
how they're
struggling.
gonna pay off the
It's
debts.
horrendous. And then at that finale, you know, he sees like, oh my god, like he
The
left all this
money
stuff
and
to me,
yeah.
like the money, and now it's like a new beginning. And then like season 2, it's like, yeah, they're just opening a restaurant, but it's like still, I mean, the restaurant is so much of a character in and of itself in this show that it's like, yeah, they're opening a restaurant. They have to make this thing fully operational, or all of the money that's in it is down the drain, and Mikey's memory dies with it officially. And then seeing how they react to that, how Sid and Carmi fit into there, how maybe Carmi being with Claire, maybe that is too much on his plate. Maybe he won't be able to handle it. Or maybe he will. Like I think all of those things and all of those you know, even like even Richie and him just always butting heads and like never seeing eye to eye. Um I don't know. I think a lot of those things matter a little bit more, and of course in later seasons, you know, that stuff like that always finds a way to sneak back in. Mikey haunts the entire show. But yeah, I feel like I think it's a little bit more deeper than that.
Because I'd say they're building a restaurant this time around based on like perfection and like wanting it to be a very specific way, not just building a restaurant to I don't know,
For
get a
the sake of
business up
building
and
it.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I guess I'm understanding what you're saying, I guess, a little bit with how you feel about just the restaurant being them making a restaurant and then having to, because of that, they have to train their chefs. And so Marcus goes off on to I forget where it is, but and it meets with
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen, thank you. And meets with Will
Oh,
Poulter's
let me see if I can get
character.
it. Ah, dang. I thought you were gonna be like, I don't know. I was like, let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it. I forget his name too.
I was getting, dude, if I couldn't remember, because Ben just texted it in the group chat too the other day, yesterday, I think it was actually.
Yeah.
So that would have been crazy if I
I
can.
feel like I feel like I know it. Oh, Luca. Yeah, they don't really say it too
Oh, his
much.
character name you were going for. Oh yeah, I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
have. Never
Oh
got there.
really? I
Yeah, I
feel
wouldn't
like
have got there.
I don't think
Yeah.
I would have gotten there, but I feel like
But yeah, like I think I
I
get what you're saying. Like those character moments, like him meeting up with Will Poulter, that kind of thing, is because they are making a new restaurant. Are you, so you're saying that you'd forget those kind of details, like the fact that like that's just a forgettable detail, is that they're making the restaurant? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm more so saying that like I don't like the through line connecting factor out of all of this at the base level. The story of this season is that there's a new restaurant that's being constructed, and all I'm saying is the implication that that has on all of the characters' journeys. Those are the things that I care about and am invested in more so than just like a restaurant being built, which maybe that's just a way to dumb it down and
Really?
kind of a
Okay.
stupid way to view it. But that's like, it's just the perspective that I'm having on the show is like, I care more about the characters and the character moments and the feelings that gives me than some of the actual stuff that's happening. But then again, the stuff that's happening is what leads to those moments. So it's kind of,
I was gonna say, with that being said, then, so like with the restaurant being built, and maybe that informs how like Carmi acts and how he behaves with everybody else and how he wants it to be. Like I think that
yeah.
it ties all together. And then so with, in the end, I know you're not there yet, but like with you worrying about, if you're not worrying about the restaurant and if it's going to do good or not, because you're just worried about the characters themselves, does that play a role for you then? Like, do you want the restaurant to be good, or are you interested in it being bad for Carmi's sake or for Sid's sake and that kind of thing?
But it's not like it's not that I'm interested in whatever ends up happening with the restaurant as much as I just am interested in seeing the characters and whatever journey they go on.
Hmm.
It's like, successful or not, this restaurant or a different one, those things matter way less to me than the characters themselves.
I feel like they go hand in hand more in
They
my
probably do.
eyes. I feel like
This
I
is
see it a
probably
lot
just a
more as hand in
little
hand.
like weird way that my brain has clicked this show so far,
It
and
is a
ultimately
character
comes up
driven
to just
show. Yeah.
semantics and doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I would agree, it is very much a character driven show, which is why like you hit season 3 and there's not a lot of character work, and it's like this was bad because what do I have to care about? Not that I share that sentiment, but
Yeah.
you take away that character work, and that's very much a shining spot for the bear is
Yeah.
character work. Cool.
I'll leave it there. Let you boys continue.
All right.
Enjoy the talk on.
We'll see you next
itching to
week,
leave,
then.
bro. He's
I
itching
know
to
that
leave,
was
bro.
like, oh
This
yeah.
boy is
Anyways,
tripping,
I gotta go.
Gotta leave you guys. All right.
Goodness.
Sayonara.
All right.
Any chance he can get out
Later.
early, bro. He loves signing up for that, bro.
All right, now that Ben is out of the picture with his only halfway through season 2 watching.
Gosh, dude, he's not gonna watch this, but real quick, all I have to say is,
Yeah.
I just feel like the specific thing he said about Claire, dude, just finish the season, bro. Just finish the season.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good because it's like, yeah, Ben, you're right. He cannot juggle all of this. And we are still seeing the ramifications of that.
Yeah, dude.
And that's one of the main things I love about
Speaking of
season
which,
4.
yeah.
Is that like this is the Carmi apology tour, and it's also how difficult and how hard it can be to face everything that you have come to destroy, and it's breaking down his character to absolute bones and just seeing how much of that he can take and how much I've seen this theory. A lot of people think that he might kill himself, that he might commit suicide. Yes,
that is actually going to break me, bro. That will break my entire soul. Like no exaggeration. Like that is crazy. I cannot.
I wouldn't. I didn't even consider it. But seeing as he's pushing everyone away, like he's pushing the restaurant away. He's not pushing everyone away. He's making amends and then cutting ties with the restaurant, dude. Like. That is a scary possibility.
Yeah, man.
Yes. So yes, I absolutely I love that season 4 is the big like army apology tour.
Sure.
There are so many moments that I caught in rewatch where people like Sugar are telling him, you don't love it anymore. Like,
yeah, you don't have
fine.
to. Yeah.
And like every time like he sees Sid, like he looks at the review and they're like, they said the scallop was the best thing. And he's like, he looks at Sid and he's like, and you can see every single one of these moments on a rewatch. It all is just piece by piece leading to his decision, which is rewriting the contract. And that's one of the main reasons why I was like, this season is so good. I don't know what I was thinking because that's all stuff that I missed, wanting it to be better, like wanting it to be great. I go back on rewatch and I'm like, of course he's gonna leave the restaurant to her, dude. Great.
And the interesting thing about it for me too is like that the actual decision comes in, I think, like episode 3 after he talks to Claire, and then as soon as he's done talking to Claire, he calls Pete and he has Pete change the agreement, and I don't know, man, like. So then everything after that kind of just reinforces his decision. He's like, I made the right choice. Everything he looks at Sid with, I made the right choice. And I'm sure
Marcus's accomplishment, like he knows that she has the best crew. Like he's like, yes, this is all good.
And I really wonder, and I hate that this happened off screen. I really wonder after that, since like I think it was at the wedding when he gets the call from the guy who's trying to open a restaurant and poach Sid, I really wonder what his thought process was when he found out that Sid was potentially getting poached from him there. Yeah. Like after he was putting all of his stakes into Sid and he already made this call. I really wish that didn't happen off screen because I'd love to see how that all happened. But I mean, overall,
it was after her dad had the heart attack and he hangs up the phone with her and then he's like Shapiro.
Yeah. Shapiro, that's his name. Thank you. Overall, dude, like this season is also very much about Sid as well, and I loved that. I think Io even got, because the Emmy nominations came out yesterday. I think she got a nomination. Dude, I do of everybody else on that list from
That
this season
finale,
specifically, dude. Oh my god, man. Oh my god.
dude.
I
She says
was feeling
you're
like season
supposed.
2, bro.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
She said you're
gosh,
supposed to be here, and her face like she looks like a kid. And then
dude.
and he's like, oh my god. She's like, he's what did she say? She's like, you're supposed to be here. You're my partner. And he's like, I'm your friend. Oh my god, man.
Then
It's
fucking act like it. Oh my god, bro.
well, dude, no, and then just and when Richie comes out and is just like doing his
Oh,
Richie
dude.
thing, and he says, I went to Mikey's funeral, and he's like, why are you fucking with me right now? Oh my
Yeah,
god. I was
dude.
in dude, I was sobbing, bro. Maddie
Dude,
was sobbing.
yes, dude, yes, I fucking love, dude. The fact that we finally get the resolution of this all, from of this thing that happened in season 2 that Ben hasn't even seen yet.
Yeah.
Finally, 2 seasons later, like I was angry that there was never a after finishing season 3, but just to have it like swell and dwell and like them having the slight little like they'll talk to each other here and there, but dude, to see this and like have the not even just the resolution of that, but the funeral stuff. Like I was at the funeral, I just couldn't do it, and just oh my, like every little thing about that conversation was so fucking well done, man.
These are the like Richie is the grand finale of people that need to apologize. His mom, which amazing scene that they had, and he
Oh my
cooks for her,
god,
and they finally make amends. And
dude.
then the finale, it's like now it's Richie, the one we've been waiting for 2 seasons, and it delivered on all cylinders. Like I don't know, them two, just like him being like, I thought you hated me. Like I look up to you because like whenever we were riding around, just like goofing off, like I thought Carmi gets to experience this every day. And then Carmi's like, dude, I was jealous that you got to experience that because I felt like I wasn't close to him.
Yeah.
And like, just like,
dude, it all revolves around
grief.
Mikey, bro. Like,
yes, bro, all that grief, just like between the both of them, where like at the end of it, Carmi still stands by his decision, but Richie's like, okay, like it'll be fine. And I'm just like, dude, yes, like they finally did it. The wedding episode when they're slow dancing, dude, I was sobbing my eyes out.
Yes,
dude. And then he cries looking at the picture, like he just starts laughing. They're like the bears, and he's like, oh man, I'm like, oh Richie, dude, I love you.
Oh my god, man. And like obviously the under the table scene is fantastic as well. I got the thing I should say that I got spoiled for me. I think we talked about this a little bit, but we didn't. Yeah. It was Brie Larson playing.
We should have did our cameo guesses.
Dude, no, yeah, we should, yeah, dude, like that. Oh my god, man. I also I want to point out the Sid episode where she hangs out with her friend when she's getting her hair done. Such a good episode. With Io at the forefront. I think I saw in the credits that she directed that.
Her and Marcus co-wrote it.
Co-wrote it. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. Dude.
And I think they got a credit for that. I think they got an Emmy credit for that. I'm not sure.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
I'll have to see.
That's sick.
Yes. And I love the moment of her being like, I think you should work wherever you want. Like, just like she saw through that analogy and she was like, I think you should just work wherever you want. I was like, oh, this is great.
So good. Yeah. And then just the little through line of like the little girl trying to decide if she wants to go to this sleepover or not, and she ends up getting a call from a friend. Also great stuff. Like even though that had nothing to do with what we care about, still great stuff. Dude, I genuinely don't understand how people are coming out of this season and rating it the way that it, like, dude, I'm sorry, it should be higher. You should have gotten more points for this, bro. Like this season was fucking phenomenal, man.
It was awesome. I think if I were to sit and give a ranking, I think season 1 is a 8.7 out of 10. I think season 2 is like a 9.4, 9.5. Season 3, I'd probably say is like a 6, maybe even a little bit lower. I genuinely think season 4 is like an 8.5, almost a 9 out of 10. I loved so much about this season on rewatch, and I'm so happy I decided to do a rewatch because it's great, man. It is fucking great. And I wish we could just do an episode where we can all just talk about how great this season was. Seriously, I had a damn good time.
And it's all the little things too, man. Like with watching Tina work at trying to like get the sandwich thing up and going. The pasta.
Oh my god, that's the other thing, bro. Carmi tells her, "I don't even think I could do it in sub 3," and then Sid does it in 2 minutes, and he looks at that and he's like, and he's just like, I'm justified. Like I like this shit. You are the bear. Oh my god. Like, oh dude. And it's so crazy thinking about like episode 1. Like he sees the bear. This is something that has always been like so intimidating to him. And like for him to come full circle and tell his partner, tell her, like, you are everything that Mikey wanted this to be. You are the bear. Like, God, man. It's so good.
Man.
I'm so excited for season 5. It was a banger, man. It was a banger.
I know the fact that it got renewed. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I'm so glad I'm back in. I was so worried after season 3, but I'm back in, and I'm just like, I'm here for it, bro. I need more of it. I'm worried about Tommy, but we'll see what that ends up being.
Yeah, dude. I'm so happy we got to talk about this. Obviously, we'll save more of the in-depth discussion for whenever Ben catches up to it.
Yes.
Yeah. What a great episode, guys. Show some love. Like, comment, subscribe, comment. Please give us some feedback. Text us on the audio. Check out the TikTok, the YouTube.
Yeah, check us out on our Instagram, our
Words
shorts,
from the Nerds Pod. We'll be somewhere. Check the link tree in the bio. It'll be there. Without further ado, thank y'all for watching. Great discussion. Be tuned. Stay tuned for Fantastic Four next week. Gonna be a banger.
Oh, can't wait, bro.
We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Adios.
Bang, dude! Bam. Oh my God, we are here.
That's crazy. Wait.